Everyone's using it, but not everyone is talking about it. And that's AI in the workplace. In fact, one new study from Cox Business shows that although Gen Z and millennials are using AI tools, they're nervous to admit it to their bosses. Wonder why. Kelsea Warren is a workplace values expert and founder of the Seamless Coach, LLC. She joins us to talk about why many employees say they're keeping us along with their feelings about their technologies to themselves and what business and IT leaders can learn from this. And she's joining us from all places, Cheyenne, Wyoming. Good morning, Kelsea. How are you?
Good morning, James. I'm doing well. How are you?
Great. How is the weather there?
It's actually pretty sunny right now. It's going to be 90 this week.
Ah, same here in St. Louis. We're all getting the heat wave, aren't we?
Yep.
Kelsea, can you share some of the results from this survey we talked about?
Yeah, I sure can. So, this survey by Cox Business showed that Gen Z and millennials actually use a lot of different tech tools to keep up their productivity. When it comes to AI specifically, 60% of Gen Z and millennials actually feel pretty positive about its use. But what I found interesting is that around 50% of them actually feel a little bit nervous to share how much they're using it with their boss or manager, especially when it comes to their productivity. And I think what's interesting is with all of these tech tools that we're expected to learn and use, about two-thirds of Gen Z and millennials, according to this study by Cox Business, feel a little bit overwhelmed with just the amount that they have to use. And then additionally, 50% of these groups feel that they don't really have much influence over tech decisions at work. So I'm really happy to be reporting on this study. I think it's very important as it shows kind of a disconnect between business and IT leaders and Gen Z and millennials when it comes to workplace tech.
Now, how can employees in business and IT leaders better communicate with each other about workplace tech and how it's being used?
One way I think is to just establish a clear policy and communicate this around AI and tech use. This study from Cox Business showed that many Gen Z and millennials actually don't know what their company policy is or if they even have one. So when you're thinking about rolling out a policy, making sure it's very transparent and clear, and that you're including them in the decision-making process. I would definitely encourage leaders to do this, include the millennials, include the Gen Z, especially if you're looking at getting any new tech tools, updating any kind of legacy software, or defining new policy. Why not reach out to the people that use it the most? They're going to have great insights on it, and your adoption and engagement will also have better outcomes as well.
Now, with so much technology and the rate at which it's changing, how are IT teams keeping up, and what are some of the biggest concerns?
A huge challenge that the survey revealed. So, the Cox Business survey said that 60% of Gen Z and millennials actually use their personal software to get work done. And about 50% of them actually said that their personal software is quicker and easier to use. So, although they're still working, this is producing a little bit of a challenge for IT teams specifically because without the ability to manage how and when these employees are using their own personal devices, you run into issues as far as when there are outages or any issues and they're not able to potentially resolve them. When it comes to what to do about it, as we mentioned, I think having clear policy around AI and tech use can be helpful. But what's even better is partnering with a managed IT service provider like Cox Business or like RapidScale. These are the experts, and they're going to come alongside the IT teams and help prevent or even predict any kind of outages. And they're really going to be the best solution for managing issues like this, especially in the shadow IT space.
Now, let's talk about ensuring employee well-being and burnout prevention. What's your advice to avoid tech overload and employees feeling overwhelmed?
When we think just about the amount of tech tools we have to use, you want to look at future-proofing your business as an IT or business leader. And what this looks like is not only making sure the right people are in the right roles who are managing the tech, but we're also looking towards the next generation of leaders. I already mentioned, things like communication and including Gen Z and millennials in the decision-making process, which is important. But we also want to keep them in the conversation ongoing. So making sure that we are including them in any kind of future decision-making process. And if you fall into one of these groups, if you are a Gen Z or a millennial like I am, I want you to feel empowered to speak up and share your thoughts and share that you're engaged and excited about tech. Share any concerns or frustrations you may have. I think this helps not only advocate for yourself better, especially when it comes to tech overwhelm, but it also helps you position yourself as a leader and build trust in your organization.
Finally, where can our viewers go for more information?
If you want to learn more about this Cox Business survey and look at all of the insights that they have, you can go to coxblue.com/workplace tech survey.
I got one more survey for you to do, and I've been thinking about this a lot. Baby boomers who are into tech and can handle tech, you got to do a survey on them too.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. I've been speaking with Kelsey. Thank you so much from Cheyenne, Wyoming. I know it's hot there, like it is here in St. Louis. Kelsey, thank you so much for joining us on Morning Blend. One more thing, the Seamless Coach LLC, where can we find that?
Yeah, I am the Seamless Coach on pretty much all platforms. So if you give that a quick Google, you can find me.
All right, we'll do that. Thanks again for joining us on Morning Blend.
Thanks, James.